Thomas put under a bit of pressure there from Bellini. Elsie Hall just placed that one off Samet for a throw-in. So, yeah, interesting. Ortman's really sitting in front of the centre-backs.
I just wonder if maybe he's tracking Nick Morton. I feel like he's not really deviated too far from him in the early going here. I wonder if Samet's playing as a left-sided centre-back, and the tagger might have been introduced here by Kenny Weston.
And look at, you've got to stop Nick Morton somehow, and it's not a bad idea. We see Morton miscontrol that. Huundy pretty much on his own here, but gets past Quayle, tries to get past Dogger Brown, who just stretches a leg out well. I think there's a bit of an offside there on Holt. Walter's not offside though, gets a touch in. Past Lucas Hill on the left foot, but that's a bit of a tame effort. At the keeper there from Walter was miles onside, and he just switched off there a little, and you've got to wait for that run.
It's long over the top. It's Glenage will get that first wide of the mark. A glorious chance for the check hitman, and he puts it wide of the post. A long ball over the top, real Route 1 football. Caught out Thomas and Brown, and a bullet dodge. Both teams trading glorious chances in the opening 5 minutes. And each team with a good claim to say they should be in front. And it's Glenage, you'd back him to score that normally.
Yeah, you'd back him just to put a little toe poke down in the bottom corner there. I mean, that was his intention, and it hasn't gone too far wide, but one end to the other, gilt edge opportunities for both teams. So far, probably 2-1 South Hobart, but after 5 minutes, it's certainly been a very attacking game so far. As Samet looks to take the throw in on halfway, goes down the line to Koso, over his head to Bellini, gets caught in the South Hobart sandwich, and takes away the free kick, which I'm really too sure about. Pretty sure he got a push in the back and ended up colliding with the player in front, but Stratos is a lot closer than we are here in the commentary box, so we'll take his word for it. South Hobart's favourite ranger from Gorry over the ball. He's got Kemp short. There we go this time. So we'll look in the direction of Lazinski, and Vandermeer will clear that one nice and easy. Huundy goes for the underneath there on Kobe Kemp, gives away a pretty obvious free kick.
South Hobart's forwards moving around a lot early. We saw Albie Lazinski starting wide on the right, as this one's going to be just over hit for Gorry. Saw him wide on the right, perhaps anticipating 4 at the back from Olympia, and they were going to look and get at young Samet, physically overmatch him. But we've just seen him drift a bit more centrally, perhaps reacting to the change in formation from the Warriors. Both coaches pulling out a few tweaks, trying to take each other by surprise early in this one, but Nick Morton also playing a very advanced role in the early going here.
Well, those that say that tactics are rubbish, it's all about the players, are certainly defeated here today. It's a rather different setup.
I think South might be rolling with a bit of a back three themselves. Alex Walter seems to be playing as more of a wing back. Seems to be maybe a bit of a 3-5-2 from South. So both perhaps looking to surprise each other as Nkoso runs straight into Dogger Brown. And he just holds off the youngster, then turns, showing his strength. The wily customer Brown threads it down the line, and Samet will let that one run out of play. And the flag now swirling back the other way, so interesting weather here. The sun's shining though, so a lovely day for football in a cup final.
Yeah, absolutely lovely day, as pretty much how it's been in Tasmania the last few days, weather having absolutely no idea what to do with itself. A good metres of snow in parts of the state as well, but actually the football rather than the meteorological report, we see cleared from Gorry in the back. It's a bit of a push there from Kemp, so the tall timber of Olympia will push up. Vandermeer and Hill making themselves known. Even Ortman, who's now been told no uncertain terms to get back from Lucas Hill. I think there's a bit of a height difference between the two.
Yeah, I think one's slightly more threatening in the box than the other. Not sure the Biz is the man you want to be targeting. See where Lucas Hill takes up his position. Looks like he might make that near post run.
1 or 2.
Swung in his direction, palmed away by Brown. Tracked down by Quayle, who stumbled. Hill pressuring him, trying to box him in there in the corner. Scrapping away those two. And eventually South Hobart will win the throw. So the points to Liam Quayle.
Wonderful head control as well. I don't care how unintentional it was.
The Mountain chests it down. Straight to the hand of Turner. Close range, play on the call. Nick Mearns tried to get around Quayle. Didn't do so. fullback holding his ground well. Waterloo in towards Mearns, two of the real key movers for this Warriors side. Warren Wadawu retreats back to his captain immediately. He's besieged by that forward press of South Hobart. It's such a key feature of their game.
Yeah, it was 3v2 there, and it was Olympia with the 2, and they were in the defensive position, so very good press from South Hobart. Nice turn from Bellini. He's trying to find Sklanage up ahead. Now over the head of Lazinski, who'll go shoulder to shoulder with Lucas Hill. Holds his body well there, does the mountain. And it's out for a throw-in, which Wadawu will take on the grandstand side, which is nice and full for this League Cup final. That's what we like to see here at KGV. Jack Turner, first time really had to call his name today. Could have had a free kick there. Not given, and it'll just be thumped clear in the direction of Brown. Now to his namesake. I guess Kobe Kemp's also being pressured by Bellini immediately as well, so a bit of man-to-man work here from Olympia.
It's a bit sloppy there from Big Albie. Hasn't had many starts lately. Sklanage just angles his body trying to get in behind of Thomas, who wasn't adjudged to a foul. Chest control from Lazinski, and across he goes for Quayle. Oh, well worked by Lucas Hill. Stumbled Wadawu. He only knows one way, Warren Wadawu, and that is it, full-blooded. The Warriors winger. A bit reckless at times, but you can never doubt the commitment of Warren Wadawu.
Thoroughly enjoyed that thump coming from the ground just in front of us there. Wadawu with a full-blooded challenge. And he likes to get stuck in. Does Wadawu, and Quayle will send it in his direction again. Walter, chest control. Quayle will look to go down the line to Morton, who's got Mark Ortman glued to him. Sklanage with good hold-up play. Finds Undy. Now Ortman, the switch is on here to Nkoso. If they could try and get it out there. Mearns turns away nicely. Gets away from Morton. And eventually it'll peter out to nothing. Nkoso will be slightly frustrated there in the acre of space he is on the far side.
More of an impression of the formations now after 10 minutes. They're all over the place in the opening game. It is 4 at the back for the Warriors, with Wadawu just playing as a regulation fullback. It's pretty fluid, both these sides. It's the flexibility both teams have in their midfields especially. As Wadawu throws in, looking there for Hugh Undy. Big Dax. Sklanage just out-muscled on that occasion by Brown. Chipped it to Walter. Really stoop low to chest that one. Awkward stuff there. Eventually it's punted forward to Clean Cull. And he chips it across to Lucas Hill. He'll be very familiar with Albie Lazinski, who we formerly played together. Now Bellini looking to get around Kobe Kemp. Sticking tight to his assignment. Morton tracking back in one, and then looks to thread the needle for a bursting Darcy Hall, but just overhit the ball on that occasion.
Straight back in the direction of Joel Samet, who finds Nkoso, gets the return ball slightly overhit, and Turner does well to turn out of 2 challenges there. Makes it 3. Lazinski with a bit of a chip going wrong there. Nick Mearns has got Dawu on the far side. He can get inside Quayle. He's got Sklanage making a forward run, goes behind Dogger Brown, but Sklanage not quite there yet. And South Hobart will look to rebuild. Very frantic in terms of their build-up of both teams. Not too much composed passing out the back, and that's another misplaced pass right to the chest of Mearns, who's immediately surrounded, and now it's a great through ball. Slightly overhit though for Walter. Just gets a bit one in the back for no reason there. And I think the free kick has been given from Strados in the middle there.
Yeah, just a little unnecessary, that one there from Walter. Maybe knows Wadawu can be a bit volatile, trying to wind him up. Certainly in the Lacka Seljuk Cup final, he was walking a very fine tightrope, Warren Wadawu. Many a Knights fan will say he should have been sent off on that occasion. Played a decisive role in settling that one. He's claiming the victory on that occasion. They were really worried by the pace last week of Callum Brown in behind. Interesting to see how high they push up. Lucas Hills just turned this straight over to Walter, who skips around one, then threads it through for Morton. Great chance here for the Mordog. He picks his spot. He's offside anyway. It wasn't hit well. Jakob Cole denied him, but the flag had been raised.
Yeah, very well pushed up there from Van der May, playing a captain's role there as giving the ball away. That's certainly, you'd expect Morton to put that in the back of the net anyway. He had plenty of time to size it up before the flag went up. You'd think just for confidence you'd try and place that one in the back of the net.
I don't think he was aware the flag was up. He just tried to finesse it, and far too narrow in his effort there. Didn't quite pick out the corner. Jakob Cole, the confidence builder for him, even if it doesn't matter. He's made a couple of stops early, and South, just a couple of times now they've got him behind this defence. Morton, as Darcy Hall now looks to make inroads down the right. He keeps this in, sliding in with Samet. Couldn't hold his progress though. Little reverse pass to Gorry, who was offside, and I'm not sure he was, because Nick Mearns had tracked back a mile in the middle. But they get off the hook there, the Warriors.
He must have had a better view of that than me. I thought he was offside, but I was kind of impeded. So I'll take your word for it. Thought Albie Blazinski was the person to pass it to there. He was offering short. Not to be, as Van der May gets this one going. Dr. Brown will win most headed contests. That's a good flick from Morton. Blazinski 1v1 with Hill. Nice back heel, but Hill with an outstretched leg. The Mountains got plenty long legs, so nothing's going to get past him like that.
Just held him up, then made the lunging challenge. Great defence from the Mountain.
Quayle bombing on to take the throw. Short to Walter, who's played the back heel to Quayle, who run inside. Big Dax tracking back there. Sklanage body to body against Thomas. Now Undy tries to get it to the business, but Morton cuts that one out. Now to Walter. Now Thomas, who's pushed up a bit there, just slightly hit that a bit too wide for Turner. And Clean Cole will up this one clear, only as far as Kemp, so South Hobart will look to rebuild. Goes towards the back post. Darcy Hall quite get that one down, not kept in, and out for a goal kick.
Trying to repeat the opening goal last week there, Alex Walter set up Ben Hamlet for the game opener with a deft little ball from a similar position. Just put it on a dime for Hamlet, who, as we mentioned, sitting on the pine today. I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit to get out there and make his mark on this one.
Handy little terrier to bring on after 70 odd minutes, isn't it, Ben Hamlet? After he's been in great goal scoring form most of the year. Probably the best goal scorer to put on the bench in a while.
Yeah, handy option. Although having Lazinski on the pine's been very useful. Two very good strikers at their disposal, South Hobart. Gorry, that one picked off there by Joffrey and Koso. Turning with Sklanage, but robbed of it there by Oscar Thomas. The Giraffe just outstretching the leg there. Wadawu chips it to Mearns. Back again to the Mountain, who retreats once more to Cole. Straight to Kobe Kemp, who just gets the peck on that one and sends it in the Albie direction, who turns. Made Jack Turner retreat. It's not the crispest passing there from South, just a little bit slow in the final third there, allowing the Warriors to get across and scramble it away.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it was a bit slow off the mark there, not the usual pace that South Hobart are playing with. Not sure if that's due to maybe not as much training this week because of the weather, or Olympia's pressure, or a combination of both. Quayle puts a bit of spin on that one down the line. Actually headed clear, Bellini in the back. Nothing paid. Sklanage quite get that out of his feet to turn. So South Hobart have it through Brown. Gets it back to Kieran Brown. Immediately pressured by Sklanage. It's left a bit short and taken out of the air from Liam Quayle. Down to Kemp. Turned over again, Bellini. Quite get that through with Dawu, again with Walter. It's probably been the matchup of the game so far. Undy looking to play the 1-2, and it's Morton tracking back very deep there just to hoof it clear. Clean Cole Looks to get that through to the former right back, Mark Ortman.
Olympia struggling to build from the back. They're hitting that pass, the first pass to the likes of Ortman in the midfield, and they're immediately being forced to turn and retreat. The second pass not really releasing anyone as Walter eludes a lunging challenge. And somehow that's been adjudged to South Hobart throw. Wiseman's seen something I haven't.
I'm enjoying Wadahu's reaction of how could I have touched the ball, which is a fair comment in my opinion.
Maybe if you like, let's have another squeeze. I just got nowhere near that. So South Hobart get the throw in. Quayle offs it down the line. Maybe if Wadahu added Oscar Thomas's legs to his own, might have been able to get near it. Sklanage is brought down by Brown. Processed his innocence, but free kick goes the Warriors' way. There was too much doubt over that one as he just turned past him. Just reached back. Lost his footing, I think, there in the end.
Yeah, it's the defender's trick of when you lose your footing, you just tend to move about 2 metres to the left or right, wherever your opposition number is.
Fall into the legs there. He's an experienced defender, very good at those arts, Stogger Brown. And he wins the header here. He's a real scrapper, just what you want in a centre-back and a great leader of this South Hobart team. Here's Darcy Hall. Across to Adam Gorry. He looks to release into the channel for a forward galloping Jack Turner. Unconvincingly dealt with by the Mountain. Invites danger, won it back though, redeemed himself beautifully, Lucas Hill. It's the second time he's made a crucial stop there in defence, and Samet charges forward. Gets it to Nkoso, back to Sklanage, who's dropped deep for the moment. And now for Bellini. Gets his head up and runs, they've got plenty of options. They've still got Lucas Hill in space, opting for a shot instead. Sails over the bar, it will be a corner.
Lucas Hill's reaction to Undy taking a shot then was priceless. I mean, it's set up nicely for him. Judge still taking deflection. Look at Lucas Hill, he's absolutely ropeable and not getting that pass after making the challenge inside his own box. Don't want to upset your centre back like that.
He started the move, didn't he? And then he bombed on and sensed the chance to join in the attack, and he was in acres of space for some time. It's Undy opting to shoot. He's won a corner though. It wasn't too far away from Hugh Undy. So a corner to be taken by that man, Big Dax. He curls this one to the back post. Header back across the face, but straight out of play in the end. And that will be a goal kick. So after a pretty frenetic opening 5 minutes with clear-cut chances, that Undy shot the first real side of goal we've had in a while.
Yeah, a bit of a lull of 10 to 15 minutes there with not too many shots. I think just proving how even both of these teams are. Sklanage putting Brown under significant pressure there, but South Hobart can stream forward a short to Walter. Now Quayle, it's a lovely ball. Cole decides not to come to it. He's got options at the back post. Is Nick Morton with a cool finish, streaming forward from midfield, and that's 1-0 to South Hobart.
Crashing the box, Nick Morton, the classic South Hobart goal. The overlapping fullback, Liam Quayle, just stuck in behind Wadahu. He found a bit of space. What a perfect cross that was. Gave his attackers every chance. That's a delightful ball to start the move. And Quayle across the face. Clinical football from South. The first real moment of quality they've had there. And they take the lead through the irrepressible Nick the Morthog Morton.
That ball from Liam Quayle is just fantastic. If he puts that 2 centimetres either side, it's either going into the keeper or into an Olympia defender. And Vandermeer was keeping tabs on Morton the entire time, did what all good centre-backs should do and turn and get a bit of a feel for where the defender is. But that was just a beautiful ball from Liam Quayle, and that kind of silver service, Nick Morton will slot them home most of the time.
How about the ball from Walter to start the move too? Just unlock the defence there, sliced them apart, gave the chance for Quayle, and he did the rest, putting it on a platter for Morton. It's Turner scrapping away, so South Hobart again with an early lead against the Warriors. It's crept out of play, so it'll be a South Hobart throw in.
Yeah, it didn't creep out of play by much, but very good persistence from Turner. As we have a look at that ball from Walter again, he's completely gone the other side of Wadahu, and Lucas Hill couldn't quite get a leg to it, neither could Vandermeer, and Morton did. 1-0 to South Hobart. He's been in blistering form the last few weeks, Nick Morton. As we see Lazinski launch the throw in long. direction of Kobe Kemp, who rifles that one into the backside of Jake Vandermeer. Nice touch from Darcy Hall to keep that one alive. And Gorry manages to win a throw-in off Samet, so South Hobart, who've been a pretty even game so far, but after having 3 to 4 good chances, you'd think they're good for their lead so far. Now Turner. Head from Vandermeer, Clenage and Thomas. That familiar battle, which Thomas has probably had the best of so far. And he does this time and lets it go out for a throw-in.
Well, he started well, the big giraffe there. Just got a timely foot in a couple of occasions on Clenage. Here's Lazinski. First time ball in the direction of Turner. Unsuccessful in his appeals for the throw. Samet to take for the Warriors. How will they respond? The last meeting pretty well to recover. Got up 2-1 in that game. Eventually dropping it as charging in behind again. Here is Kobe Kemp. Can he pick someone out? He can only find the Mountain, who took a slightly heavy touch that invited Kemp back in. Stretching was Vandermeer before Turner will get himself in a promising position, but South just starting to turn the screws a little here, getting on top of the contest. The lead would seem has given him a bit of confidence. Turner chips it down the line. The greatest ball. Vandermeer across, repelled by Turner. Now Lazinski trying to hold off the attention of Lucas Hill. It was a heavy touch and misjudged there by Quayle. Brown sweeps across in coverage. The wind is starting to play a bit of a role. Mundy tried to let it run. Dogger Brown was not fooled. And now Walter forced that goal. Nick Morton is running out of room there. Nick Morton wanting a little more support from Alex Walter, I think.
I think that's exactly what he was after, and Dogger Brown's also after a bit of support in his jog back. Foot left in from Walter. Dawu hopped over the top there just to get the free kick, and the very nice green wheels that Dawu's rocking today. Not all the tall timber going ahead. There's 4 Olympia players behind the ball, with South Hobart pushing everyone back.
What are your thoughts on Wadawu right back today, Funty? It's just take this free kick first. It's whipped into the top of the box away by Gorry. I can understand, obviously, Ortman not a natural right back. It's been moved into midfield in Hickey's place, but just robs a little bit of their attacking threat, I feel.
Yeah, I certainly think it's a contained move from Kenny Weston, but I mean, it's a good option. We maybe, on reflection, may have should have done it in the FFA Cup game we watched here as well, just to counter the pace when the opposition left winger is such a pacey player that Alex Walter is. So I actually don't mind it. It's just that they've not had much attacking down there, as Gorry's certainly attacking in the box. Managed to get a foot to it. It's all in a great block from the Mountain. Sticks one of those long legs out. Dogger Brown with a close to a handball there.
Dogger Brown with a handball there. As Lucas Hill heads it away. Got away with it though. Ortman and Undy not on the same page, and allows the Warthog to sneak through and threads it for Lazinski. This is promising. He hammers it just wide of the post. Big Albie was given the room there. They set off him, and that wasn't too far away from being 2-0.
Yeah, not far away at all on the favoured right foot. Vandermeer going to be blocking the corner flag there with his defensive positioning, and that's not far wide. Glenn Cole was rooted to the spot.
And he did not have that covered. That crept in. He was hoping, looking to the sky and hoping that was creeping wide. Did not cover that corner. He was perhaps expecting a little finessed effort to the other corner, but Vandermeer was defending that side. Just offered him the near post, and he nearly obliged Big Albie.
Certainly got the power to beat the keeper from that kind of range, even if they are on that a particular side of the goal. So it's a dangerous tactic, but Olympia getting away with one there. Shot count certainly in favour of South Hobart so far, as Clenage puts that out for a throw-in. Maybe Olympia will try and push up and maybe box South Hobart in a bit more. Really haven't seen their centre mids get much on it lately. It's eventually hoofed clear, holds up in the wind, which Vandermeer read a bit better than Albie. Samet with a header out to Nkoso, who manages to battle with Gorry. Olympia throwing in decent position. Best throw into Undy, but eventually works its way to Lazinski, who's got Walter free on this side. Goes near side to Hall. who's now in a foot race with Vandermeer. Vandermeer with the inside and the body, which he uses very well to get around the South Hobart winger there. Samet, bit of a shank there. Left Ortman short. Lazinski in for Turner, who's bobbed up in the box, as he always seems to do. And look, if the wind wasn't swirling in that direction and left it short, that would have been a very, very good chance. On goal. Try and keep it on the deck a bit more, as the wind's now swirling in the third different direction of this match so far. Kind of more of a northerly. Goal, not electing to take the goal kicks here today, so Lucas Hill covers a fair bit of territory. And as far as Kemp, down to Mearns, who really hasn't had too many touches on the ball lately, and won't have any more for a little while, as Kemp steals that off his foot. A hole with Gorry bombing on down the wing, as he always does. 3 in the box. Lazinski near post. Nearly gets there, and Hill plays that out for a corner kick. A very promising attack down the right-hand side of South Hobart. Bit of a pattern the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's been a great strength of theirs all year, and they're starting to really make some inroads down that side. Gorry with a teasing delivery. Lucas Hill has defended pretty well in the early goings here for his side. He was on hand, but Gorry had a chance to cross, and why wouldn't you look to play in Adam Gorry at every opportunity? He's provided them so many goals. So much of South Hobart's attacking plays come down the right this year. As a sharp turn from Morton and a ball in the Turner direction is steered away. Might be something on here if they can release the King of the Andals. Has to track back for it though. Kobe Kemp wins one and then pulled off a nice little spin, but the foul had already been blown.
Yeah, nice little spin from the King of the Andals as well to get whilst heading down. Certainly a foul from Gorry tracking back. And Vandermeer looks to take this one. The Olympia Warriors captain looks for his marksman's clenage. Oscar Thomas, the giraffe, has been like an absolute all over him today. Quayle to find Walter. Nice little back heel with Turner bombing on. He's going to call it an upbeat, but he pretty much kicked it straight to the opposition, so it doesn't really count. Now Hill to Nkoso. Bellini, who too many touches the last 10 minutes, manages to find with Dawu. Whips it in towards the back post, held up a bit, and Brown punches very effectively. Kept in from Gorry. Some wisely as Nkoso has the ball at the edge of the box. Undy's in shooting range again, which he does, and it's at pretty much the same place as last time, up and over the bar.
Yeah, it's the wind at the back, perhaps a factor there, as we have a look at Wadawu's ball, which was well dealt with in the end by Brown, but I think you're right, it was an unwise decision to keep it in here from South Hobart. Invited the second chance, which Undy was only too happy to pull the trigger on. It's not too far away. Brown just knock it back to his namesake in goals, and Oscar Thomas like the options presented, so he retreats, and then Brown just dumps it out of there in the Darcy Hall direction. And just held up in the breeze and landed beautifully for him. It's starting to be a bit of a factor in this one. Olympia will want to take advantage in this first half. It should help South Hobart in the second stanza. Here's the Mountain. Drives it in the Bellini direction. Haven't seen a lot of him yet as he looks to cut inside of Quayle, who again wins the duel. Punches it down the line for the Morthog Morton. Well read Lucas Hill. He's been fantastic so far in this one. This one deflects and stays in, and a chance perhaps for Bellini. He and Sklanage ruffle it. The Czech opts to take it, drops it back for Mearns. Lost his footing, and it was because of a little shirt grab. So a free kick in a position of promise here for the Warriors.
Yeah, a bit of an ankle tap there on Mearns by Turner while in a promising position. Now Hugh looking to take it quickly, but Hugh Undy strides across and says, let's take this one a bit slower. Have a look again. Bit of an ankle tapper there.
There's a little clip from behind. Quite happy to go down. Hugh Undy now. Free kick in a good spot. He chips it to the back post. It's all South Hobart there. Gorry missed the clearance. It won't matter. He's out of play anyway. Hugh Undy's best delivery. Quite made the contact he's looking for on his shots and set pieces just yet. Big Dax.
I mean, most of the Olympia Warriors midfielders struggled to put their foot on the ball so far in this game. I've seen Bellini move out to the right-hand side a bit more, so a bit of a change, and Mortman's certainly not playing on Morton anymore as they're at complete other ends of the park. Handball, I think, called against Darcy Hall there. Taken quickly to Nkoso. Now Undy, who's immediately pressured from Morton. Good battle between those two, and a nice turn from Hugh Undy to get out of that one. Nkoso gets on the right foot, tries to put it through a window where there really wasn't one. Wynn holds that one up to the advantage of Lazinski, but the second defender from Olympia helping his teammate out there. Nice little roller coaster from Mearns. The tech is central here from Olympia. And eventually given away. Morton now looking for Walter. We'll play it back. They've certainly got the nice twists and turns here, Olympia, but not much in terms of goal threat so far.
Yeah, just lacked that end product in the final third thus far, but some really nice moves and enjoying the work of Joffrey Nkoso out wide. He's looked like making something happen every time he's been able to get on the ball, as Gorry goes the direct route this time, looking to play on Lazinski, but Van der May defended it well. His clearance eaten up there by Kobe Kemp. Now a scrap in the middle, nodded forward by Samet. And just got run into there, so a free kick will go the Warriors' way. Red Calvert and Kenny Weston in deep conversation on the Warriors' touchline. Tactical tweaks to bring. Silver Fox just trolling South Hobart's side on the other end. He'll be quite happy with this first half so far. His team ahead, and Samet now for the Warriors sends it in. He only had one to aim for, and he was absolutely nowhere near him with that ball.
Yeah, that's got a bit closer to the cricket nets than the intended target, so 10 minutes to go in this half. So Hobart 1-0 ahead, thanks to a goal from Nick the Morthog Morton. See if they can add a second before half-time as Brown will search this one clear onto the chest of Lazinski, who's got a fair bit of distance on that chest. It's probably a foul on Gorry there by Sklanage, all over the back. South Hobart will look to take through Adam Gorry, who's been doing his usual work there on the right flank, bombing forward as much as possible. Plays back to the keeper this time. There's Nogga Brown out wide, but likes to go more direct to Darcy Hall. Nice little bit of hold-up play there. Lazinski has got Gorry out wide. Van der May coming across to cover. Gets there in front and manages to win the goal kick eventually. So very good work from Van der May.
Yeah, did well though, the Warriors captain. As we tick towards half time here, and South Hobart will be delighted, kicking into the breeze and leading this one 1-0. Lofted forward from Nkoso, brought it down, got around Gorry, hacks it forward, but Quayle across is clearing away in the Darcy Hall direction. Joe Samet tight to him, and he's just run out of room. Didn't have enough space to try and pull that one off there, Darcy Hall. Samet again to Nkoso. Gorry defended it well. That's a high boot, surely. And indeed, he's blown there by Stratos. And the wind really getting up now. Howling through KG5.
Yeah, it's rather unexpected. A few people on the far side walking for cover. And I think that's proof of how much wind there is. That held up an absolute mile. Eventually out for an Olympia throw-in. More impetus on keeping it on the deck, which is usually how both teams like to play. Haven't seen as much of it in this game. Nkoso does well to Sklanage. Thomas sticks one of those giraffe legs out, and then Morton tries to get that crossfield for Walter, who's turned with Dawu rather well there. He's got two ahead, one turner, but Dawu tracks back well. He's got three against him, Walter. Not much support. Morton kind of backed into a corner here with Ortman, and eventually just strolls out of play. South Hobart bench calling for a free kick. Not sure there was much in that at all.
Yeah, you're not going to get one for that. Don't get free kicks for being clumsy. 60's footing there, the Mordhog. Ran out of room there on the near touchline. He's put away there by Liam Quayle. He was scrappy affair, this one, for the most part. Pretty open and attacking in the opening exchanges, but developed into a bit of a scrap. And there's another one between Sklenage and Brown. They've held at the check striker pretty well so far. Bellini goes in his direction. Brown got in first and got a bit of a whack for his troubles, which he certainly made sure was spotted by the referee.
Yeah, don't think Straddles could have missed not hearing that one. He made it nice and obvious to Dogger Brown. That was a bit of an unnecessary kick in the shin, but
he'll be feeling that one.
I reckon he will be, as Brown will play it out to Turner, who's turned up at right back to get a touch. Ball to Lazinski. Didn't hold up for the target man. I was about to say nicely brought down there by Turner, but knocks that one out for a throw-in. Game just losing a bit of its tempo the last 10 to 15 minutes. It's scrappy and kind of focused on both wings, really. Not too much going through the middle, as maybe Nkoso can do something here. Well, he put the mockers on him as he passed it straight to Walter. Lasinski wanting help. Gets it from his right back, Gorry. Looks to Darcy Hall, who just ends up pushing Joel Samet once he knew he was getting the free kick.
Lovely turn from Hall. The quick free kick just sets in the breeze for Walter. First time header, diving clearance from Wadawu. Straight to Liam Quayle, who curls it in. Long leg of the mountain was there. Jack Turner wants to win it back. Now the scrap is on between Thomas. Thomas from range. Well, he's done it once against the Warriors. And he was eyeing off another miraculous goal, this time flying over the top. His young centre-back, filled with confidence, thought he'd try and smash in another worldie. Won the ball well and tried his luck. A terrific purchase.
A bit too close, I think, was the issue. He's a bit too close to goal. Needs minimum 45 yards out.
Yeah, it just wasn't quite in the bullseye. That's where he does his best work, Oscar Thomas.
Oh, he's already said it.
Yeah, if it's in the opposition half, you might as well not have a shot if you're Oscar Thomas. The mountain thumps that one clear. And just to win the header, and Undy goes to the chip. Brown gets a palm to him. It's a fantastic save. Absolutely nothing. Undy has brought the absolute best out of young Kieran Brown.
That's a big stop there from Brown. And again, it was just a Route 1 football. The two best chances in this game have just come from long hacks down the middle. Undy made terrific contact, and Brown did ever so well. The wind was behind it. It was dipping. Amount of power on it. Really well saved by Brown to get it over the top there. But it's been the best two opportunities have just come from long punts down the middle for the Warriors.
Got a great goal kick on him, does the mountain.
This one's curled in near post. Morton easily deals with that. Wasted delivery there from Undy. Here's Samet. To Wadawu. There we go, that method again. Long in the Sklenage direction. Brown clears. Volleyed first time by the King of the Andals and cleared away by South Hobart. Well, I feel like the direct method is the way to go for South, although they might be in trouble at the back here as Morton makes inroads and gets in behind Wadawu. He crosses and it's well played by Cole, but the ball just curled back around that breeze and stayed in, perhaps taking Olympia by surprise a little there.
I mean, it's not how Kenny Weston likes to play, but you've got to think he may just have to just get rid of the midfield altogether. 5-0-5.
Start even it, you reckon?
Just even it. I mean, certainly produce the best opportunities of their game. They keep plenty back. This is why he's a coach now in the commentary box, though, as Kobe Kemp plays a nice ball, nice dummy as well. Gorry gets onto that, looks for the return ball. Mearns comes across and gets a strong foot in. Lead only as far as Kemp. Walter, who's moved centrally, has got a fair bit of time. Looks to go to Quayle. Dogger Brown showing no ill effects of that knock earlier. Now, Adam Gorry, who's gets it to Kemp, who turns Undy very nicely. A few options. Lazinski tries to get it out of the range of Hill, who puts a leg to it. And look, that's not the worst idea in this breeze. Cole gets a very strong punch to it with Morton underneath, and while that's usually a hack clearance, I'd be tempted to do that for the next couple of minutes.
Oh, going to be very tough to do with those balls high up into the box, swirling around. Olympia, if they're going to go with this direct approach, which yielded this chance, it's probably going to be a lot tougher to do it in the second half. So strong. Here's the wind as Turner retreats. Back he goes to Oscar Thomas. Ships it for Brown. Now Quayle, pressured by Bellini, looks to charge past him and did so well. Played it to Walter. Wadawu across to whack it away from him. Blooded as ever. Warren Wadawu. Here's the Morthog Morton. Business Altman sticking to him like a cheap suit as he has throughout most of the half. His clearance is going to turn out very nice for South Hobart. It picked out Quayle. Vandermeer steers away his cross. Undy chested it to Walter. Now Kemp. Darcy Hall. This is promising. Jack Turner crosses it back in. Lazinski. Cole. Not sure he knew much about it, but he denied him.
Ended up as a corner. Yeah, I mean, if you get that close to Lazinski and you get some body part in the way, it's unlikely to be a goal. But made himself nice and big, did Cole. Good purchase on it from Big Albie. And the last opportunities here for South Hobart from the corner. On the tall timber, up it goes in the direction of Lazinski again, and Cole rises high to deal with that one well. And he's got Hugh Undy out one side. Quayle safety first out of play to let his team reset. I think there'd just be the 1 minute of added time, so Dalu gets it playing quickly. Shirt grab called on Hugh Undy. And it seems like Olympia are going to treat this as the last play of the game and push everyone up.
Well, last chance with the wind at their backs here to punt something in from distance. Warren Wadawu to send it in, everyone back for South Hobart. It's all hands on deck. And even Cole has crept up towards the centre circle. Wadawu swings it right into the mixer. Good ball, but the big giraffe, Oscar Thomas, convincingly away. Decisively, that's not a great clearance though. Straight to Goso, the nutmeg, and then the shots. Steered away by Quayle. And that will be all she wrote for the first 45 minutes here at KG5. South Hobart will head into the sheds. A goal to the good, thanks to a goal from Nick Morton. And on the balance of play, they've probably shaded it south. The Warriors haven't been without their moments, but considering the wind at their backs, it's definitely advantage south as we head into the second half. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And look, it was just that one piece of real quality of South Hobart that separates this game, so still a very even contest. We'll see how much of a factor the wind will have in this second half. Olympia not looking too despondent as they walk off, and neither is South Hobart, to be fair, so all to play for here in the second half. We'll leave you with lovely shots of the referees and probably some highlights, so we'll see you back in about 15.
We might just see a little bit of the second half.
Are they going to be coming or staying? Stay?
I'll just get you later. I'll get you later.
Going the ball nicely.
There's a bit of an offside there on Holt. Walter's not offside though, gets a touch in. Past Lucas Hill on the left foot, but that's a bit of a tame effort at the keeper there.
It's long over the top, it's Glenage will get that first. It's wide of the mark. A glorious chance. New post run.
1 or 2.
Swung in his direction, palmed away by Brown. Trapped down by Krasinski and across he goes for Quayle. Oh, well worked by Lucas Hill. Stumbled Wadawu. He only knows one way, Warren Wadawu, and that is it, full-blooded.
He can get inside Quayle. He's got Sklenage making a forward run, goes behind Dogger Brown, but Sklenage not quite there yet. Slightly overhit though for Walter. Gets a bit one in the back for no reason there.
And straight over to Walter, who skips around one, then threads it through for Morton. Great chance here for the Morton. He picks his spot. He's offside anyway. It wasn't hit well.
Lazinski 1v1 with Hill. Nice back heel, but Hill with an outstretched leg. The Mountains got plenty long leg. Will look to rebuild. Goes towards the back post. Darcy Hall quite get that one down. Not kept in and out for a goal kick.
Olympia struggling to build from the back. They're hitting that pass, the first pass to the likes of Orton in the midfield, and they're immediately being forced to turn and retreat. Convincingly dealt with by the Mountain. Invites danger, won it back though, redeemed himself beautifully, Lucas Hill. It's the second time he's made a crucial stop there in defence, and Samet charges forward. Gets it to Nkoso, back to Sklenage, who's dropped deep for the moment. And now for Bellini. Gets his head up and runs, they've got plenty of options. They've still got Lucas Hill in space, opting for a shot instead. Sails on.
Bring forward a short to Walter, now Quayle, it's a lovely ball. Cole decides not to come to it, he's got options at the back post. Is Nick Morton with a cool finish, streaming forward from midfield, and that's 1-0 to South Hobart.
Crashing the box, Nick Morton, the classic South Hobart goal, the overlapping fullback.
Launch the throw in long, in the direction of Kobe Kemp, who rifles that one into the backside of Jake Vandermate. It's just that they've not had much attacking down there, as Gorry's certainly attacking in the box. Managed to get a foot to its hole, and a great block from the Mountains.
He's not on the same page and allows the Warthog to sneak through and threads it for Lazinski. This is promising. He hammers it just wide of the post. Big Alvey.
Bit of a shank there. Left Ortman short. Lazinski in for Turner, who's bobbed up in the box, as he always seems to do. And look, Gorry bombing on down the wing as he always does. 3 in the box. Lazinski near post. Nearly gets there, and Hill plays that out for a corner kick. And Walter, nice little back heel. With Turner bombing on. He's going to call it an up leg, but he pretty much kicked it straight. 10 minutes. Manages to find with Dawu. Whips it in towards the back post. Held up a bit, and Brown punches very effectively.
Right to Liam Quayle, who curls it in. Long leg of the Mountain was there. Jack Turner wants to win it back. Now the scrap is on between Thomas. Thomas from range. Well, he's done it once against the Warriors, and he was eyeing off another miracle.
The Mountain thumps that one clear. Manages to win the header, and Undy goes to the chip. Brown gets a palm to him. It's a fantastic save. Absolutely nothing. Undy has brought the absolute best out of him.
There we go, that method again, long in the Sklenage direction. Brown clears. Volleyed first time by the king of the Andals. And cleared. Mort makes inroads and gets in behind Wadawu. He crosses, and it's well played by Cole. But the ball just curled back around that breeze and stayed in.
League to it. And look, that's not the worst idea in this breeze. Cole gets a very strong punch to it with Morton underneath, and well, that's usually a hack clearance.
Jack Turner crosses it back in. Lazinski, Cole. Not sure he knew much about it, but he denied him.
Ended up as a corner. On the tall timber, up it goes in the direction of Lazinski again, and Cole rises high to deal with that one well.
Even Cole has crept up towards the centre circle. Wadawu swings it right into the mixer. Good ball, but the big giraffe, Oscar Thomas, convincingly away. Back after a little half-time potato cake number from the wonderful shop next door that all the patrons of KGF will be more than familiar with. And a substitution has been pulled by South out of the sheds. It looks like Hamlet has come on for Lazinski. So an interesting little tweak there from Ken Morton. I can't see anything different on the Olympia sideline, so it would seem they're going to be as they were. But 1-0 South Hobart's advantage. Not resting on their laurels as we enter the second half here.
It's interesting you would actually start Lazinski and bring on Hamlet at half-time. It's surely a tactical change and maybe one the Silver Fox was not expecting as we get underway in this second half. Olympia kicking to the left of screen, so the wind not necessarily favouring them. Blowing from left to right as you look at it on your screen. Cole. Pretty good kick on him, so I don't think that will affect him too much. Out to Bellini. Now Dawu with the very bright green wheels. It's deflected off Nkoso, but Hall will keep that one in.
Our usual co-commentator Jake Morgan has just messaged me rather outraged that Big Albie's been subbed, not having a bar of it. But Hamlet, a man in form. He did score a brace last week and perhaps was looking for Lazinski maybe to bully one of those, or either Ortman or Samet in the fullback position. Samet's been dropped into midfield and maybe it hasn't quite worked as expected. He's quite often scrapping and grappling with Hill and Vandermeer rather than getting after the smaller frames of the other defenders that maybe they're anticipating. But we'll not forget Ken Morton's reasoning for that post-game as his son lobs one over the top there for Turner to chase after and skied away by Vandermeer.
Good luck getting that out of him with another game on next week for South Hobart. He might be a little shy about tactical questions for another week as we see Hall with that one aiming for the back post, but falling harmlessly out for a goal kick.
Compton Copper just the fourth official today on ball boy duty.
Yeah, saw him warming up earlier, which was interesting. You don't usually see that out of your fourth official, but I guess you don't usually have your fourth official as one of the best refs in the state. So
two-time reigning referee of the year. Not a bad fourth official there, Big Copra. Stranos, the man in the middle today. Finished runner-up in that one this year, so the big guns out for this one. Nodded away, Vandermeer across. Just lets it run out. South's press with the wind at their backs could be particularly effective in the second half, I feel.
It's just a day of big guns all around KGB on that walk to the shop. There was coaches galore. Chris Hayne, Richards, a real veritable who's who of Tasmanian football here today. What you like to see in the League Cup final?
Yeah, a lovely afternoon. The footballing community to come out here. Last game between local teams this year. Of course, South Hobart taking on the Brisbane Strikers next Sunday in their MPL final series game. We look forward to that one. And South would love to head into that one off the back of another trophy. They're well on the way with a one-goal lead here. Vandermeer clears Walters' ball. Gorry, now Walters Away from him by Mearns, gets it to underuse. Driving at the defence, tried to do a bit too much himself there though, and turned it over. Turner to Walter, lovely dink over the top for Hammer time. Hamlet, just pushes off Samet. He squares it looking for Morton, but it was well defended. And big Hammer time. Hamlet with the don't argue there.
It's a fairly blatant don't argue from Ben Hamlet, but play on called, and there's an opportunity for South Hobart. Now up the other end,
Dink over the top.
Raj v Brown. Raj gets there first, but unfortunately just runs out of real estate eventually, so down harmlessly for a throw in. Gilt edge chance for Hammer time Hamlet, who's making his presence known rather early in this one. Quayle is just on ball boy duty himself to the far corner. He'll eventually get that one in play, and with the wind at his back, these throw-ins will go an absolute mile, and Dawo's all over the back there of Walter, nothing given. Brown is it ahead, Turner. Will eventually fall to Brown after a bit of a scrappy passage of play there, but a free kick given in the centre. Taken short to Thomas. Dorries just launched himself down this right-hand side, and it's ignored. Probably forgetting the height difference between Amatime Hamlet and Lazinski there.
Yeah, not quite the same target man stature, is he?
Not quite.
Thomas offset forward. Samet Enemy scrapping there with Morton. He won it, but only as far as Kobe Kemp. And midfield star plays a 1-2 with Gorry. Dealt with Ryan Koso. Enough for a free kick though. Samet takes the throw quickly. Gets it to Undy. Turned into trouble. The Giraffe Thomas. Graceful stuff, and then threads it through for Hamlet, whose touch just took him backwards. He turns now onto the left and dinks it. Samet cut that out, charge it down. He's producing energy and he's getting in good positions, Hamlet. His touch just let him down early since his introduction. And he's looking lively. Hammer time, Hamlet. This one's smashed down the line, nodded away by Quayle. Into the middle, clever from Turner, worked it to Walter. And he ran straight to Nick Mearns though. Treats to Kemp, lovely ball, punched it through for Hamlet, who turns and goes and curls it onto the post. It was clearance, deflects off ball into the back of the net, and South have the most fortuitous of 2 goals lead. 2 goal leads. Look at me, says Nick Morton. Well, there's more than an element of luck about that one.
Yeah, that was a very, very fortunate finish. Nothing fortunate about the build-up play, the through ball to Hamlet, and indeed the shot was lovely, and well, that's pretty unlucky to hit the post in that area. Hill goes to clear it, falls straight into the foot of Nick Morton and just rebounds in. Runs over, bum with the camera and says, take a photo of me. There's plenty of them the last few years of him in fine goal scoring form. That's 2 goals to Morton already, and South Hobart very, very comfortable here so far, but a very fortuitous goal. See why the rest of the team didn't celebrate as much.
Just taking care of the new profile pic over there. It was the Morlock. Got right up in the camera. Gonna look at me time, but this year has been to a large extent about Nick Morton at South Hobart. He's been absolutely superb, and a brace in the cup final today. So he continues to cap a stellar season. He's in Koso driving a Quayle, and his cross was wayward. Behind it goes for a goal kick. Substitution being pulled here. Is it Kyle Vincent being introduced, I think?
I think that is, and we were praising in the first half, Koso coming off. And was replaced by the goal scorer from last week, Kyle Vincent. Rocking the salad part with such a part he needs a headband, which is interesting. He's got a number 2 buzz cut round the side. Off of hair watch, and he's immediately in the action, Vincent. Gets it to Sklanage, Ortman beaten out to it by Turner. And now Hamlet peel out wide and have a 1v1 with the Mountain. Crosses in low as far as Turner, who lumps it into his own hand and gives away the free kick. So, very early change from Olympia. 7 minutes in to the second half. They look to rebuild through Vandermeer. He's gone for a bit of a run and played it straight to the opposition number. Morton in again. They go for the hat trick. He slides onto the left foot, looks for the corner. quick hero. Nick Morton, 3 goals in the League Cup final, and that's just about game, set, match for South Hobart.
Yeah, I think she's just about over already now. They've come firing out of the blocks, and Nick the Morthog Morton has a hat-trick. That was all too easy for the South Star. He just cut inside, had acres of space. Just did it easily, rolls his foot over it. All alone at the top of the box, keeper helpless. As easy as you like, and Nick Morton on the big occasion has fired in 3. What a performance from him. And that is just about all over. It'll take something pretty extraordinary now for the Warriors.
Yeah, certainly will, and it was a great diagonal run to draw the second defender away as well from the other South Hobart players. Hammer Time going to the back post, probably Hall going to the near post, and Hall unfortunately can't get a hold of that one as well, and it just left Morton one-on-one, which inside the 18-yard box is dangerous. We'll see what Olympia can do. Coach Kenny Weston can stone face down in the technical area. Lundy plays it back to Samet, which just gets crunched by Hammer Time Hamlet for the second time. Moons ends up on the deck, only as far as Kemp. Good tackle from Ortman. And as far as Walter. Gets on the right pick, curls it. That's not far away from the far corner at all from Alex Walter. He wants a piece of this action that South Hobart's having in this second half. Hits with that plenty of pace, and it's not too far wide at all. Olympia shell-shocked at the moment. Not quite sure how to respond. I think just stemming the tide. Make a welcome start with Vandermeer launching that as far as Samet, who flicks it on to Sklanage, who's no service all game so far. Vincent been out to it by Quayle, who it's a lovely diagonal ball. Direction of Darcy Hall. There's 2 in the box, one of which is Turner, who's at the near post, but Vandermeer gets that one out well. Bellini looking to Sklanage. The Giraffe gets a toe in, but now Bellini looks to find Vincent, who tries to split the 2 defenders, and Liam Quayle comes across and clears that one up.
Perfectly, but South have just flown out of the blocks here, and it's shell-shocked. They really have been Olympia. They've not responded here. They've been completely blown away in the opening moments of this half. Just almost reminding me of the Mayweather McGregor bout here. They played with them a little bit early, and they've just gone, right, we're into the second half of this one now. Let's wrap this one up nice and early. Gone bang, bang. And suddenly it's the Warriors absolutely reeling with no answers. Yeah,
I'd like to come back for the commentary gig next year, so I won't use the analogy of the fourth quarter last night, as that one's forward to Hole. Now Turner. Hamlet, that's nice into play again. All shielded from Mearns. Hey, look, I've been on a painful sporting trip to Melbourne this week as well, so...
Yeah, well, we all as a nation shared in that one, though.
Yeah, true.
I was one of 7 Geelong fans at the MCG last night. 95,000 tickies anyway. Back to this game where a similar thumping is being dished out. There's South Hobart well on top of this one. Shouldered away there by Undy. And they're really pressing them high. Look at all the South Hobart players up in the field here. They've got the wind at their backs. They know it's going to be tough for the Warriors to play out. And they're going to make this very, very tough for them.
Yeah, not putting their foot off the gas at all, the South Hobart so far. The ball's barely been in their defensive half so far, and that's the case again. They clear it as far as Morton. That's a Hamlet. Now back through the defensive partnerships. Quayle will have it on halfway. As far as Morton, who's now appearing on the wing. And he'll win a throw in. At least you didn't have to deal with the progressive drum beats of the Thai supporters on Tuesday night. It's very, very interesting for 20 minutes and then annoying for about 70.
Yeah. Don't know. Don't think it'd come close to the Movers others in Africa.
Well,
that was an experience.
No, nothing quite on that. Dawu just about has a legal throw in. He'll have another go.
It's really almost killed this match off here in the first 10 minutes. Well, it was a 1-goal deficit. Plenty to play for, but I mean, I called 3-0 very prematurely game over last week, and it almost came back to bite us when Callum Brown went bang bang. But South Hobart, I think, have conceded 19 goals, 20 if you include the cups all season. Highly unlikely they're going to ship 3.5 hours with the wind at their backs as Darcy Hills picked this one off, and they might add another one, in fact, as he crosses, dangerously steered away well. Olympia hold out, but they're under siege at the moment. Here's Jakob Sklenage. And in to Alex Walter. Kobe Kemp shifts it across to Gorry. Gorry to Hall. They're starting to run right here, and he threads it for the overlapping Gorry. Just a bit too ambitious, though. And Vandermeer sees it out of play.
That was the last time South Hobart conceded 3 goals in an entire game, let alone in a half. I mean, that's what the uphill challenge for Olympia is. It's a very hard unit to break down in most situations. See if the Mountain can do a route one here from the goal kick. He certainly has plenty of distance on that. Bundy against Brown's probably only going to produce 1 winner. Now out as far as Walter, who sees the throw in. Dalu in short to the business, immediately harassed by Turner. It's just that pressing in the second half. It's been a real difference here. Whenever Kenny Morton said in the sheds at half time, certainly worked a treat.
A tactical tweak. Hamlet on, more mobile since he's come on, buzzing about. It led to that goal, and 1 quickly became 2. There's this one. Whale trying to get around the substitute Vincent. Treated back to Walter. He rolls his foot over it there in complete control of the situation here. South back the other way goes Walter. Now Quayle decides to pull the trigger. Perhaps should have continued with the patient build-up.
I think that was meant to be a cross.
Pretty sure it was. Not particularly well executed.
Just that far out, I couldn't actually quite tell.
Unless he's got some beef with one of those kids up there.
Yeah.
That he was trying to scon him.
Those 6 people.
He's only got closer to them than any of his teammates.
Yeah. Let's see our wonderful photographer heading round there. I hope he isn't aiming for her. As Gorry now on the ball. Short for Hall. Now Turner. Patient build up again here. Hall inside the 18-yard box. Back to Turner. Crosses first time. His back post doesn't quite sit for any South Hobart players. Eventually cleared by Altman. Straight back in the mixer from Quayle. Now Morton, who's just bossing this midfield at the moment. In short for hammer time. Hamlet, who makes a darting run in the box. Just can't quite sneak it in at the back post there. Good hammer time. He's hit the post and not missed by much so far in this game. A real impression since he's come off the bench.
Yeah, look at the good substitution from Ken Morton, the Silver Fox. He's changed things up. He's going to make another one here. And he's decided a 3-0 lead. Let's just settle it down a bit and give Dogger Brown a bit of a rest ahead of next week's MPL finals game. 60 minutes from him as he's continued his return from injury. So Kobe Kemp will just slot into defence, and the experienced Frenchman Luke Farrar will just drop into the holding midfield role. Good man to kill off a situation like this.
Yep, very good. And you don't often get the chance in a cup final to take off someone with a bit of a niggle after 60 minutes and rest him for next week. But Morton seizing the opportunity to potentially do that. It's a handy person to bring on in the Rosetta midfield. Here's the Frenchman, Luke Herald TV. Kobe Kemp probably do well in centre back. Goes in the direction of his opposite number, Thomas, who gets a good header to that. There's the giraffe. Vandermeer up. Well, Turner and Burns scrapping in the middle. Bellini plays the back heel, which is very nice. Menage wanted that short, and Burns hit it long. Brown plays it to Kemp, who picking it up the deepest he has all game. Whale in short, looking for Hamlet. Gets in front of the Mountain. Go out wide, he'll play advantage, which is how it's worked out. Walter In short to Hall, gets it, takes it, tough. And that's 4-0. South Hobart, a lightning attack down the left-hand side. Alex Walter and Darcy Hall doing very, very well there, and that game is some Olympia fans walking out of the stand.
Yep, they've seen enough, but the golfing class really being exposed now. There was a big gap between first and second on the league table this season, and we're seeing just why today. They are putting them to the sword. Darcy Hall, the latest to get in on it. They did really well. I think we'll look back on that first half and go 1-0 playing into the wind was a terrific effort. A bit reminiscent of that Kingborough Lacquer Cup final a few years ago when they just held their ground 0-all half time, came out in the second half and pulverised them. And we're seeing a similar script here. It's game over. South Hobart, they claim their second trophy of the year and head into the National Final Series game on a high.
Yeah, outside of replacing Braden Mann with Alex Walter and Darcy Hall, it's pretty much a carbon copy of that Lacquer Cup final from a couple of years ago. And now it's Olympia. They get something going here. Burns beaten out to it from Turner. Morton has 2 or 3 options, and Turner's got the whole middle of KJV to run into. It's an out to Gorry. Back to Turner, who's beaten out to it from Vandermeer, who's probably been Olympia's best on so far. Sklanage beaten out to it from Oscar Thomas, who's pretty much been absolutely imperious at the back so far, has not given Sklanage an inch. Darcy Hall clears that one. Yeah, talking to our first slice of cheese for that one. Entirely sure what that was for. Morton, the captain, questioning that one as well. Samet, to be honest, is just looking to play on. They're 4-0 up, so we can have a laugh about it, but I think even we're terribly sure what that was for.
Smiles all around. South won't mind too much as long as he doesn't pick up another one. Get himself in trouble for next week. Might see him sub for Connor Cass, I suspect, in the final 20 minutes or so as a result of that. We'll wait and see, but I wouldn't expect him to be doing anything too reckless with a 4-0 lead. I wouldn't expect him to go full Nowicki at this stage, as turning on the ball is Undy. Got Mearns in support. Surrounded by South players, Undy tries to extricate himself from it. Running to the Mordog Morton. And he's won himself a goal kick there, Morton. His day out just continuing now in defence as we have a look at Darcy Hall.
I think our silence answers our queries on that card.
That would seem a little more accidental than...
Well, it seemed he cleared the ball and then, you know, his body length has then gone forward.
Not really sure what he could have done to avoid that one afterwards there.
I don't think we're in any danger. There's only one person who can go full Nowicki, and that's Nowicki himself, so I don't think we're in much danger of that. There's Olympia trying to get something going through Vincent, who hasn't had much of a chance to shine since coming on, unlike last week. Now fall to Hall, who'll run inside. Hamlet goes the other way, waiting for other options. Eventually hits Hammer Time. Whale at the back post. Charging forward, but Hammer Time will win a corner kick. Probably try and keep it down this end as much as possible. South Hobart. Gorry take the corner kick, goes short to Morton, who whips it centrally, eventually cleared. Falls only as far as Hall and puts his foot through it. And does superbly well from 30 yards out. And a fine for South Hobart, who's turning into a rout.
Yeah, good hit. Just caught the keeper by surprise a little there, I think. Darcy Hall, an opportunistic effort from range, made sweet contact. We saw her put 6 past him at Darcy Street earlier in the season. It is looking like a repeat here. This is an absolute shellacking being doled out. Cole, he does see it late, he gets a hand to it, not enough to keep it out. And 5-0, they're running up the score. They've been beaten in the last 7 against them. Won 14, I think, in the last 15, and they're continuing their absolute dominance over the Warriors. South Hobart, again, just all over them. They've had no answers here, and they have absolutely fallen apart like a house of cards in this second half.
I mean, South Hobart have seemed practically unbeatable ever since that Zebras come back earlier on in the NPL Taz season, and this is Exhibit A of that as they now look down the left-hand side. That's a lovely ball into the back post, trying to get on the volley is Turner. And unfortunately, doesn't get much purchase on that, so it'll fall harmlessly wide. The Olympia bench just in conversation, probably just in the state of shock between the heads of state down there. Thomas again, cut that one out. Undy dealing with Gorry. He finds Turner, he'll be looking to get on the score sheet. Rarity when there's 5 goals for South and Turner's not on it. Gorry doesn't keep onside, that's to the chagrin of the South Hobart fans, but in good news for Olympia Warriors fans, he's coming on.
Shay Hickey. Well, hashtag let Shay play. I'm not sure he'd be thrilled at coming out with a 5-0 deficit in 20 minutes to go here, but I think he's been brought on with a bit of damage limitation. Let's try and just hold down the fort a bit here, because this has been getting very ugly. So I'd expect Ortman goes to right back, and he'll slot in front of the back four, with Wadawa being replaced here by Hickey.
I'd like to see Hickey out at right back, chasing down Walter. Match him stride for stride.
They'll want to get their act together here, because this could get very, very ugly. Not that it isn't already at 5-0. They're offering very little resistance at the moment. It's been dismal really from the Warriors, and that sub that flagged a couple of minutes ago has been made. So Connor Cass comes on for Darcy Hall.
Yeah, see kind of Cass rocking the Pumas as well, breaking the mould there. Hip Cole. Plays it out wide. Samet. Now Vandermeer, who's turned into a marauding left back momentarily. He manages to get it back as well. Clonage, who's barely had a touch all game so far. Been really isolated, and fantastic first touch from the People's Champion there. Inside. To Ortman. Back in his familiar right back role. And inside again to Undy, who's down the line for Vincent. Comes up well short though. Now Feral TV into Hamlet. Into Turner, and here's Gorry running down the right for the umpteenth time in plenty of space. Whips that one a little too close to the keeper. Hamlet did his best to make a play at it, but no luck there.
It's turning into a rout now. They're lining up these South Hobart attackers, sensing the chance to add some more. Olympia in all sorts of trouble. They've turned it over here to Jack Turner. He can't quite pick out Cass. Just lack the direction on that pass. Cass shuts down Samet's pass out from the back. And throw in with 20 minutes to go. I think if there was a mercy rule, Olympia would be begging for it right now.
Yep.
More than happy to walk off. As Hickey gets on the ball. Hits it to Bellini. Cross to Samet. Back to Bellini. Now Sklenage, who's been well shackled by the pairing of Brown and Thomas today. On the duels with him. He doesn't have much service. Here's Vincent driving forward. Shut down by Morton. Still working back in defence even at this stage. And that's brilliantly won by Quayle. He's been at the top of his game today, Liam Quayle. Defensively outstanding. He's bombed on down that flank. His heel steers that one away from Hamlet.
Yeah, both fullbacks for South Hobart. We've been talking about them ad nauseum all season, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. They've been fantastic today. Brenton Copperer getting a bit of work done there as the fourth official. Now look at that tackle again. Like textbook from Quayle. Go the long throw in. As Quayle gets the feet of Walter. Nothing doing, so falls to Undy. Now looking for Sklenage again. This time Campbell shepherded that one out of play. Frustrated if you yak of Sklenage today. He's barely had any service whatsoever.
Yeah, he's been very well defended when he has had the ball played to his feet. Great credit to the South Hobart defence, but they just haven't got it to him enough. And in this second half, completely overrun. It's been all one-way traffic at South now. I think really it's about getting through the next 20 minutes without any cards or injuries. And they can saunter on to next week's game against Brisbane, filled with confidence, although you'd expect far stauncher defensive resistance next week. So it's been far too easy for them in the second half today. They've sliced through them.
Yeah, especially on this showing, you'd think that South Hobart are with a red-hot show next Sunday at Darcy Street. Brisbane Strikers using their coach as well the other day, so see how that affects them. So Ken Morton certainly with his subs looking towards that game already. Turner, Gorry kept in play, so falls to Hamlet. Now go wide to Cass. Gorry on the overlap. And just to pick him out, goes near post, but Cole manages to clean that one up.
Lucas Hill bounding out of defence, carries it all the way into the final third of South, but hasn't got a lot in support here. He's still going, and eventually he runs out of room.
When in doubt, take on the whole team. It's when you're 7-0 down in FIFA.
Yeah, that's reaching that stage really. There wasn't a whole lot being offered in support there for the big mountain though, in fairness to him. And shake it out as he retreats back. But it's all gone very pear-shaped for them here.
Corner flag taken out there, Strados.
Bit of maintenance.
Yeah. He hasn't had much to do this half, so he's probably got time to do a bit of that. Throwing taken from Gorry. Hickey tries to nutmeg Cass. Advantage played, I think, from Strados eventually. Now he'll call it back. 15 minutes left of this match, and to be honest, any semblance of tempo and energy has pretty much been sapped out of this by South Hobart's dominant second half display. Really proves why they've been top in just about every way this season outside of the statewide cup. Hickey, the Beebles champion, really gets one in the back from Cass there.
Real turning point though, that Launceston result. You had that in the Devonport loss in the space of a couple of weeks, and Ken Wharton said that there's a bit of soul searching done after that. They sat down and talked through it, and clearly the conclusions they've reached have turned out just fine, because they've not lost a game since. They've drawn one, they've had one go into extra time, but apart from that, they've been absolutely flawless this year, South Hobart. They've been a cut above, and it's evidence today. I mean, Olympia finished second on the table, and they have shown the distance between them. Cole will track this one down before Hamlet can get a sniff. They've been the cream of the crop in Tasmanian football this season. Look forward to seeing what they can do on the national stage next week, as Morton tried to feed that one through for Hamlet, who's done his best to press for a starting berth next week, that's for sure. He's introduced plenty of energy for them and made a real impact since coming on, Hamlet. You'd probably have to say he's the front runner to get the start against the Strikers.
Yeah, I think that would be the most likely option, as Undy picks out the right pass here. Something could be on. Plays it to the goal scorer from last week, Vincent, who eventually shepherded out by Kemp, and Turner will thump that one clear. South Hobart, a good record in the NPL final series previously, in Campbelltown a few years ago. They've got form in that competition.
I suppose the only other interesting selection dilemma will be if Hugh Ludford returns to fitness. I mean, Oscar Thomas has not put a foot wrong again here today. He's been fantastic, the big giraffe, so that will be a selection dilemma, as Sclanage is straight offside and cops a bit of the Bronx. You know, it's not your day when you're copping that out here at KG5.
Yeah, Ludford, any chance, of returning next week?
Some chance. Far from a certainty. Be a risk, I reckon. Hasn't played for a few weeks, and Thomas in terrific form.
And it's not like South Hobart's defence has gone downhill in any way since Ludford's been out the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Barely looked like conceding. As Quayle bombs on down the left here and crosses in towards Hammer time. Hamlin, Lucas Hill puts it behind for a corner.
Yeah, well cut out on the outstretched leg of Lucas Hill there. Alex Walter in no rush to take this corner kick. South Hobart not pushing too many bodies forward. Olympia with everyone in the 18-yard box currently, and South Hobart with 6 outside it. You've got the numbers advantage here, Olympia, is it? And just the sail back post with Cass looking for it, and then thumped behind the grandstand by Joel Samet. Wait a little while for it to be retrieved. Gorry. It's the short throw in. Intercepted by the Salad Bellini. Samet steals a few yards on the throw in, but doesn't get enough purchase on it. Vandermeer with the interesting thigh. Let's get that out over Hamlet. Hilda Undy, Turner. And challenge from behind. There, he did get most of the ball, so it's a 50-50 call there. Short to Hill while he's surrounded by 3 South Hobart players. And he's pretty ropeable about that, is the Mountain. Hickey, who was covering his position, does well. He'll now look for the diagonal in direction of Sklenage, and he finally gets the ball in the box for the first time today. This is a check marksman, but well cut out there from Kobe Kemp. Can't do much more than that as a centre back, especially with NPL's leading goal scorer bearing down in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, he was in complete control of the situation there, wasn't he, Kobe Kemp? I really think he could have a future at centre-back if he wanted. Reading the play, fantastic, really intelligent player as Turner picks it off and threads it for Cass, and South Hobart look to spring them on the counter here. Driving forwards is Cass. Well done, Vandermeer. Got a foot in to prevent Hamlet being sprung. Farrell, Turner. Cross to Walter. Couple of step overs. Back to Turner. And picked out Altman. Hickey plays a 1-2 with him, and they go in the Mearns direction. Hasn't had the influence the Warriors have needed today, Nick Mearns. I don't think he's at 100% fitness, but they needed a big game from him. It's been dominance in the midfield from South today, largely led by this man, the Morthog Morton, who turns the Mountain. Squares it for Cass. Gets to the byline, crosses back for Hamlet, but Vandermeer steered it away. Morthog down on his haunches temporarily, but then realised there was a chance to play the ball. But perhaps concerningly, he's on the deck, Nick Morton. Hopefully it's just a bit of cramp. He's driving from range as Walter, well wide, and Nick Morton slowly getting back to his feet, and that would be a concern if I'm Ken Morton. I'm telling Jacob Brennan to get straight on for him. But this would be a massive blow if it was anything more than cramp.
I'd love to tell Jacob Brennan to get on, but given they've used 3 subs already, that's going to be a little difficult.
They had the halftime one, didn't they?
Yeah, Anthony Hamlet not starting, so that makes it interesting. I'd be honest, I'd just take him off for the 10 minutes.
Play with 10.
Play with 10. I mean, you're 5-0 up if you concede 6 goals in 10 minutes.
Something's wrong. Well, he's not moving. He's not moving at all there. As Hamlet threads it through, they might get a 6th anyway. Driving his Quail, Jack Turner, 6-0. All too easy. And the procession continues. The Warriors have been hit for 6 today. KG5, a rampant South Hobart. Absolutely running riot.
Yeah, absolutely running riot. Here are South Hobart. Involved in the build-up again. Quail with the shot on goal. Turner just all alone 6 yards out. And just slots it in the gap between Samet and Cole. It is 6 of the best for South Hobart. Not sure what Olympia are going to do from here. Morton still gingerly moving. He really doesn't want to get off the field, but I think it needs either Dogger Brown or Coach Ken just to tell him, get off the field.
Yeah, I can't see how it's helping anything staying on.
Like, even just sitting at defensive mid there is not really going to help. I think Luke Farrell's looked pretty comfortable in that position the last half hour. Gingerly moving across. It's great to show that you want to play the full 90, but you're 6-0 up after 82 minutes. I think it's better just to have a bit of a warm down and put some ice and rest up for next week. An 8-day turnaround, South Hobart, so plenty of time. It's not serious. People's champion. Back to clean Cull. Nearly puts that right to the chest of Jack Turner. Burns puts that up again. I think he's ended up in the shade. Bellini beaten out by the Giraffe Thomas. Your player staying down. Slow to get up. Bellini just about stays on side. Doesn't matter as Turner concedes the free kick. Burns still down on the deck. I think Vincent has been on so far, so they do have a sub left for Olympia. Anime not wide to Vincent. I've seen a whole lot of the balls that's coming on. Finds Mearns. Turns well, gets the return ball. Does Vincent. Very nicely defended there from Oig Farrell. Morton moving a bit fresher now. Cass turns Samet. And he kicks that one down the line for Cull. Not too much in that. Mountain into the business, Ortman. Whalen intercept that one in front of Vincent. Turner, who finally gets his name on the score sheet here today.
Just had to, didn't he? Couldn't be a rout without Jack Turner getting involved. As Hamlet drives one well over the bar. No danger of hitting the back of the net there. But 6-0. We thought the 6-2 was a big victory in the league earlier in the year. This has been a walloping.
Yeah, I was thinking South by 2 or 3, but not 6. Not have that on the cards, and that 6-2 game was pretty much a thumping as well, especially how that first half turned out. But the second half here has been all one-way traffic.
It really has. And this dominance continues. Heading into the next season, you wonder if they'll hover over them. Olympia expected to invest heavily again and have a big tilt at it. South Hobart have shown there's a fair gap to be closed. They just continue to dominate these head-to-head matchups. Anime to Sklenage. Cass picked that off and turned and goes. Turner, first time pass, was a little tame for Hamlet, and Lucas Hill picks it up. Strides forward, chips it over the top. Sklenage had dropped in, so he's not right in the spot. Brown steers it away. Ticking towards the end here of the local season. You'll have the Lacquer Seljuk Cup to remember this year by, but Tasmanian football calendar, it's been South Hobart's year, that's for sure.
Certainly a big enough trophy to remember is the new Lacquer Seljuk Cup. We saw that at Olympia the other week. Yeah, proudly there, but yeah, I think South Hobart overall, we've been the best team in the state this year.
By some distance too. Emphasising that today. And we'll head into next week's game against Brisbane, which is Sunday to 12:30, I think. Double check the time, but that sounds right. Yep. To be honest for that one. Be streaming through the National Premier League's website. This will be the last buy-on stream game of the year, and a big thanks to the wonderful Ash Wilkes and Vlasta Collins, the buy-on stream team. Absolutely outstanding again this season. They've been the ones bringing you those pictures and do a tremendous job. He's just lifted it to new heights this year, I think, Funty.
Oh, absolutely, especially on the graphics. We were talking at half-time. That save one completely caught us out of nowhere. They've even surprised us here in the commentary box. But yes, it's a pleasure working with both of them this year. Burns gets on the ball. Done well yourself this year, Cooling. Marshalling us co-commentators who tend to speak a lot of rabble. Marshalling the troops.
That's the only real requirement for the job, as Gorry does well and draws a gust from the crowd. Gets it to Connor Cass. Centres it back to Gorry. Darcy Street's favourite Ranger just fancying himself to get in on the act himself, I think, here. Bombing force into the central attacking midfield position. And still ever diligent, tracks back to defend. Cass. He wants a goal, but he ran straight into Luke Farrell, who was playing the lead blocker like he was the fullback for a running back. was a bit oblivious to the fact the ball was stuck between his legs. As Hickey shifts it forward, Quayle with a rare mistake and recovers it immediately.
Yeah, good work from Lloyd Farrell there, doing his best Mike Talbot impersonation. It's not like Gorrie doesn't have the engine to track back when he does want to make those darting runs into attacking mid. Another nice nutmeg as well. So Koso, a very nice one of them in the first half.
Fair to say Nick Morton had the last laugh after that one though. Firing in a hat-trick. Sealing the game for his side. He does appear to be moving a little bit more freely too, Nick Morton, which will be a relief for South Hobart fans. Might have just been some cramp.
Yeah, it's been hard scoring a hat-trick. You're going to get a cramp or have some negative to your game after you've done that. Cass plays it to Morton. 1-2 in the centre of the park. Farrell tries to switch the play. Lets it bounce. Does Bellini. So Gorrie pulls in a nice step over. You've got the right back pulling in step overs here. It's a 6-0 win, all right.
Yeah. Really putting on a show here. They've been in complete control this half. In the first half they shaded it, but it was a far more even affair. 1-0 they went in. In the second half, it's been utterly dominant. They've been ruthless. Of the league champions. As we tick towards stoppage time. It's going to go down as one of the bigger cup final victories you'll see. Olympia in their season on a low note. South Hobart one, and hopefully more than one more to play. Here's Hamlet, threaded through beautifully. He might have a chance here. Ben Hamlet drives it. Oh, well to deny him.
He's trying to hit that for the corner taker, Cole, and he's hit that just about completely out of the ground. So lucky not to get a slice of cheese for that one, Cole. As we see there's 4 minutes of added time.
Probably very lucky to avoid a booking, I reckon.
When it lands on the concrete on the first bounce, I mean, it's pretty blatant.
Thought at first maybe it was a shank, but no, you hit that pretty well. Connor Cass getting hungry. Wants a bit of the action, and he curls it to the back post. Bundled home. Hamlet. 7th heaven for South Hobart. Hammer time, Hamlet buries it. And this most decisive of victories gets all the more emphatic.
Yeah, the cherry on top of the icing, on top of the cake there. Hammer time, Hamlet. You'll no doubt claim that his halftime sub made a huge difference to this one. Connor Cass showing the urgency to get over and take that one quickly. Turner maybe should have got there first. Off to Thomas battling, and like all good poachers, and the Hamlet in the 6-yard box, ready to go, and Olympia fans who are still here are now finally piling out. They've been patient, but seeing 7 goals against your team, not the best way to spend your Saturday afternoon. Hickey has a touch. He'll be in the NPL next year. He'll be one of the talking points in the off-season. Undy looking to play that forward, and Cass, and he's still got plenty of energy to substitute. Pardon me. Hill sending out to Mearns. Took it off the shoulder and then off the forearm. So potential try for a consolation or go to waste. Brown still looking to take free kick quickly to Morton. Hamlet peeling off the shoulder of Vandermeer, who does very, very nicely inside to Samet, who's put under plenty of pressure today at left back.
Searching ball for Vincent. Tracked it down. Not quite in time, but 7-0. What an absolute thumping. You think South would win. We both tipped them, and now they're rightly favourites coming in, but to this degree.
Well beyond the amount, the margin of victory I was thinking of. I was thinking 2, maybe 3 if, you know, what this second half was been like was for like the last 5 minutes, but yeah, 7 is a demolition. And fortunately there for Alex Walter, his arm just bringing down the shorter player. forward for Undy. Big Dax has really not had too many touches here today, and that one's really sums up Olympia's evening. He fires it into the defender and then comes off his knee. And out for a goal kick.
Brown across to Gorry into the final minute. Tasmanians season here. National duty awaits South Hobart, but this is the third and final piece of silverware on offer. And it's going the way of South Hobart as Cass drives inside. Works it to Hamlet, back again to Cass. Still going Cass. Shut down, falls to Hamlet. Who calls it over the bar. And nearly made it 8. The head's pretty dropped here from Olympia. South Hobart continuing to push on. Not a lot of love lost between those two clubs, and I think they've enjoyed just driving the dagger in here.
Yeah, there was plenty of spice in that 6-2 game as well, but this one will really rub it in. South Hobart's dominance over Olympia.
And there it is. South Hobart claim the League Cup with a 7-0 victory over the Olympia Warriors. An absolute shellacking here at KG5 to end the year on a high. Olympia, you won't see them again till next year, and they'll want to vanquish that one from the memories. They were decisively smashed all over the park. A one-sided second half, and South Hobart showed just why they ran away with the league so decisively. And it's the most emphatic of wins, 7-0. A shake of hands between the coaches down there on the sidelines. And Morton, a very happy man. Olympia, well, they've got some soul searching to do over the summer, but this day has been about South Hobart. They'll head into next week's game against the Strikers filled with confidence. And whilst you wouldn't expect it to be quite so easy for them, if they can play with that same attacking intensity, then they'll fancy themselves to cause the upset in that one.
Yeah, they play anything like they have in the second half today. They could beat just about any NPL team going around, and they'll have to be that again next week. But if you look at the goals again, just some supreme quality all around. This one probably the luckiest of them all. Hill just firing that one into the foot of Morton, but really some real quality from South Hobart all round. I've got absolutely no idea who to pick for man of the match. I mean, it's probably going to be Morton, but I mean, it could really go to 90% of the South Hobart team, really.
I'd go Morton. He got his hat trick in the first 3. The game was over at that point. He did the damage early, won the game. The others got in on the act late, but it was Nick Morton who broke this game apart. Those couple of goals, a fortunate one to be sure. But look, I think Ben Hamlet's introduction a big turning point as well. And we'll go now to the presentation.
South Hobart are winning the 17 League Cup. Dominant performance. Congratulations. First and foremost, we'd like to thank the
Well, I doubt you're hearing anything because no one can hear the microphone at this stage, but the referee's being invited up here. We'll continue commentating, I reckon, because the microphone having a few problems there as the officials today. Stratos, Lauren Hargrave and Josh McInerney, along with Brenton Copra.
Could we ask the captain of South Hobart to step up to the microphone?
And the captain, Dan Brown, here going to come up for the second year in a row here at the
Firstly, thank you to our supporters who've been magnificent. Today really shows what a wonderful season we've had. Thank you everyone for showing up today, and we'll see you next week.
Supporters there from Dan Brown, and we'll see them next week. And tune into that one when they take on the Brisbane Strikers on Sunday. Might as well come up and get their medals now. Frenchman Mike Farrell. There's just going to be open slap in it. We're not going one by one. Just all get up there and get amongst it. They've won a few little trophies in this one, South. It's a nice cherry on top, but the big prize is leading the National Final Series. It's all from us here with Buy-On Stream this season. As we said earlier, some brilliant work. Ash Wilkes and Plastic on some do. Like the Facebook page and getting around the Buy-On Stream team. They've been fantastic. The Slice of Cheese commentary team will have one last outing next week in the NPL Final Series. But if you don't catch that one, it's been a pleasure this year. We'll see you next year, but do tune into that one. Funty, it's been a pleasure, mate.
It has been a pleasure, Goulding, and yeah, look forward to seeing you next week. Adios.
Congratulations once again, South Hobart Football Club League Cup Champion 2017.
Cole decides not to come to it. He's got options at the back post. Is Nick Morton with a cool finish, streaming forward from midfield, and that's 1-0 to South.
To Kemp, lovely ball, punched it through for Hamlet, who turns and goes and curls it onto the post. It was clearly deflects up into the back of the net. South have the most fortuitous of 2 goals lead. Look at me, says Nick Morton.
Position number, Morton in again. We go for the hat-trick. He slides onto the left foot, looks for the corner. Hat-trick hero, Nick Morton, 3 goals in the League Cup final, and that's just about game set match for South Hobart.
Yeah, I think she's just about over already.
Out wide of play advantage, which now it's worked out. Bolt up, big short to Hall, gets it, takes it up. And 4-0, South Hobart, a lightning attack down the left-hand side. Alex Walton and Darcy Hall doing very, very well. Morton centrally, eventually cleared. Balls only as far as Hall. Does superbly well from 30 yards out. Behind for South Hobart, who's turning into a wrap.
Yeah, good hit. Just caught the corner. Well, he's not moving. He's not moving at all there. As Hamlet threads it through, they might get a 6th anyway. Driving his quail, Jack Turner, 6-0. All too easy. And the procession continues. The Warriors have been hit for 6. And Connor Cass getting hungry. Wants a bit of the action and he curls it to the back post. Funnel hard, Hamlet. 7-7 for South Hobart. Have a time, Hamlet. Barrington. And this most decisive of victories.